Hey everyone, welcome back to Redbanditracing. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we got the Arrma Gorgon versus the Traxxas Stampede. These are both two-wheel drive cars, and we kind of want to see the comparisons between these two and which one's better. I kind of have an idea of which one I like more, and that's the Stampede. That's just because I've driven a lot. We haven't used the Gorgon a whole lot yet, but we're going to jump into some specs and kind of see what these two cars are all about. And then we're going to do some speed tests, see how fast they go. We're going to go down and do some off-roading, see how the suspension handles, and just kind of see which overall one that we think is better. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is let's check out the bodies real quick on these, because they are definitely have different bodies on them, and their chassis may kind of look similar, but they are a little bit different. The Traxxas Stampede, it is a two-wheel drive monster truck. Comes with the Titan 12-turn 550 motor, the XL5 waterproof electronic speed control, 2.8-inch Talon tires, a Pro Graphics pre-painted body, which does come in many different colors. Just like the Arrma Gorgon, it is waterproof. It does come with oil-filled Ultra Shocks. It does come with body clips, so I would highly recommend reinforcing those so they don't pull through the body. You can run this on a nickel hydride battery and a 2S LiPo. It does not run on 3S. The Arrma Gorgon is a 10-scale monster truck. It's two-wheel drive. It does come with the Mega 515 14-turn brush motor, the Spectrum waterproof SLT 2-in-1 ESC and receiver unit, the Spectrum S660 waterproof digital steering servo. The motor and steering servo are housed in a composite chassis. Keeps everything nice and safe, along with the battery that's down below. Big chevron tires. Note that they are foamless. There is no foam. It does come with oil-filled shocks. It does have a really nice body. I would definitely recommend reinforcing it. This vehicle is ready to run. You can run it on nickel hydride, a 2S LiPo, or a 3S LiPo. All right, so the Traxxas Stampede still uses the clip design, but the Stampede, I believe, came out in 1994. So this car is actually coming up on its 30-year anniversary, so this car is pretty old. This one in particular is between 10 and 11 years old. So as you can see with the two-wheel drive, the chassis has got that rectangular unit where everything's kind of mounted on the back, where the receiver, the ESC, and the motor, everything's kind of exposed. I don't like the way that they actually hold down the battery with this clip. I really wish they would have used a strap or something else. I don't like using all these clips. The servo is actually mounted on the front, so as you can see on the bottom, everything's really accessible. I like how it's laid out in the design. Everything works really well. This car has been through a beating, and we haven't really broken a whole lot. I think we've broken a knuckle and maybe, actually, honestly, I can only remember breaking a knuckle. I know we need to update the shocks a little bit, but the suspension on it is still pretty stiff. It does take some pretty good landings. So this does run on nickel hydride, and it can run on a 2S LiPo. We prefer running it on the 2S LiPo just because you get much longer runtime. Sorry. And the body, this body is actually really old, and we have beat it up a little bit, but as you can see, this is still in really good condition. The Stampede is really not that heavy. It doesn't tear the body up a whole lot, but if you look on the back, this is why I don't like pins. Everything starts to separate and you start to destroy the body. So that's the only reason why I don't like using pins. I was kind of hoping that after this long, I mean, come on, almost 30 years, that they would make a clipless body for the Stampede. I know they do for the BL2S, but they did make a conversion kit where you can go clipless for the Slash. The Stampede comes stock with a TQ remote. I am using my TQI remote because I have it binded to all my other cars, but the Stampede does not come with TSM. All right, for the Arrma Gorgon, it does have somewhat of a clipless system. It uses two clips on the side here. All you gotta do is pull these out, pull the front one out like that, and you go ahead and pull the body up. You kind of see right here, it's got these two pins right here, and that's kind of how the body stays on. I kind of like that design. I think Traxxas should actually go to that if they're gonna keep the pins on the Stampede. So just like the Stampede, this comes in a rectangular design, but it's a composite chassis, so everything's inside. As you can see, the servo is actually up front in the chassis, along with the motor in the back, how it's kind of captured right there, which I kind of like because it keeps everything more secure. As you can see, here's the dual combo ESC and receiver. Now, if you go to look right here, if you guys are going to be running nickel hydride, your car is going to come stock with the pin right there. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this plug out and move it to the one right up above it, right there. And that is it. That's all you got to do to run this thing on LiPo. Just be careful because this will come out. If it comes loose, you may lose acceleration. I actually lost acceleration, but I still had steering. So to fix that, you got to disconnect the battery, turn the remote off, shut everything down, and then plug everything back in and fire it back up, and it should work just fine. It was a weird situation we had, and I don't know why it did that, but I think it's just because it came loose. So there's got to be a better way to stick that in, or, well, I guess if you're never really going to use nickel hydride batteries, there might be a way to just go ahead and completely make that permanent. But the suspension is really soft, as you can see. I mean, you can actually hear it. I think it's got air in it. I mean, it's good suspension. It'll handle the bumps really well, but I think it could be a little bit stiffer. The tires, just remember, the tires do not have foam in them. The Stampede does, but the Gorgon does not have any foam, which the first couple of runs we did actually wasn't that big of a deal because it made it a really good landing. All right, and the battery is mounted on the bottom. It's actually nice because it's actually more secure. All you gotta do is open this tray up at the bottom, and that's where the battery sits. Now, I believe this is IC3. What we did is we had a connector made so we can actually use our Traxxas batteries. And to put this battery in, all you gotta do is, I'm going to show you, we're gonna plug that in, and we're gonna lay this on the bottom right here, just like that. And actually holds the battery pretty nice. So just so you guys know, this does run on nickel hydride. It runs on 2S and 3S. But just mind you, even on 3S, the power is very limited to it. So I don't really see too big of a difference in running nickel hydride to 2S. So we don't have a battery yet to run on 3S, but we will try it one day. I'm just not in that big of a rush to run this car on 3S. All right, got the GNS analyzer ready to go. I'm just trying to find a good spot to put this. Maybe right here on the side. That's actually a good spot right there. All right, we'll get this ready to go and we'll start the speed run. All right, here's the tedious job of putting clips on. Now we got the clips on. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna run the Stampede. So let's get the GNS analyzer ready to go. All right, let's let this truck pass and we'll go full speed up and full speed back. We'll do that for each car because I'm not too worried about testing multiple runs. Steering's off a little bit. Adjust it a little bit. Let's come back. All right, I want to say about 18 to 20 miles an hour.
26 miles an hour. 26
miles an hour. Okay, that's actually a lot better than I thought. I know it can do 30, but I think that's if you gear up a little bit. So, all right, that's not bad. Let's go and check out the Gorgon. All right, that should hold up just fine just for a quick speed run. So let's make sure everything's powered on. I don't know about you guys, but that makes me feel like I just bought a toy. And I don't mean like an adult RC car toy. I mean like I just bought a Walmart toy. All right, so the battery's gonna go into those sides right there. And you put the clips in. They're just gonna go through the bottom, through the chassis. Which, I mean, isn't bad, but I still think they could have gone clipless or something. All right, same thing. We'll go full speed down and full speed back. Let's wait for this car to pass. All right, here we go. Wow, that feels about the same. That was nice. What do we got?
25.
25. Okay, 25. That's really not that bad. I'm going to consider that a tie. 1 mile an hour, that could have been the difference of me adjusting the steering trim on the Stampede the first time I went down the street. So that's pretty good. All right, so we're going to go out here and we're going to hit some jumps, kind of just see how they handle. It's a little bit wet. We're not going to run it through the pull or anything like that, but we're going to see how it handles through some of these jumps and go off-road a little bit and see how these two cars handle. right, so as you can see, both cars have a little bit of trouble with traction. I'm not sure which one I give it to. I think I'd give it to the Gorgon. The Gorgon seems to have a little bit more traction and I'm able to control a little better, whereas the Stampede, the talons, if you're going around on sand or really loose dirt like this, it's really hard. You just want to slide around. You just want to skate around. But the Chevron tires that are on the Gorgon seem to have a little bit more traction. I can steer a little bit better. So they both jump really nice. They both land really nice. I like how plush the landing though is on the Gorgon. It lands so smooth. The acceleration, I'd say they're about tied. They both have about the same amount of acceleration. They both jump very similarly. They're really similar in height and size. We can actually go check that out real quick. And if we look at them head to head, yeah, the Gorgon's talking, I guess, because it's not getting used. It starts making weird noises when you don't use it. But as you can see, they're really similar in width. As far as height goes, I think the Stampede has it by a little bit. And as far as the axles go, let's see how long it is. So axle to axle, wow, the Gorgon looks like it has it by what, a 1/4 inch, if that. So they're really similar in size. I like them both, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Oh, I mean, look right there. That's one thing I don't like is the pin came through the body. And that's the one drawback that the Stampede has. So when it comes to speed, I'd say give them a tie. They're practically the same speed, but the Gorgon can run on 3S. So that's probably the tiebreaker right there. We can't test it today, but I could guarantee you it's more than 26 miles an hour. I think it'd be closer to that 30 mile an hour range. As far as off-road use, I don't know. I want to give it to the Gorgon. I think the Gorgon has a little bit better stability. And I can't really check the durability right now, but I landed some pretty harsh jumps right there and they both survived just fine. They both roll over about the same. Most of the time they can roll back over on all fours. So as far as the jumping goes, I want to say the Gorgon. Because when you hit those jumps and you land, it's much smoother and like I said, it's more plush. It just lands into the dirt and it seems to ride off a little bit better. Whereas the Stampede, it's more rigid. It hits and it kind of bounces a little bit. It's not as smooth. So I would have to give jumping to the Gorgon, but these aren't ramps. If we jumped a ramp, I want to say that the Stampede would probably chassis slap a lot less than the Gorgon. So the Gorgon would need a little bit of suspension tuning to be able to keep up with the Stampede. All right, so the Arrma Gorgon is about $130. If you want to buy the Arrma Gorgon with the battery and the USB Type-C charger, that's about $160. So it's actually really not that bad. This one was $130 because we didn't need the battery. Now, the Stampede is $199. So it's a little bit more expensive, but I think you're getting a lot more tech with that money. The Stampede's been around for a long time, and there's a reason why they haven't changed it a whole lot. The only thing I wish that they would change is the body. The body, those pins have got to go. That's really old school. I hope they come out with some kind of clipless system that you can adapt it to. But they both run great. They can both run on 2S and they last a long time. So if you're looking for your first RC car, these would be two great choices. It's really good to learn on a 2-wheel drive car, especially when you don't have TSM because it's a little harder to drive. But these would be really great gifts for someone just getting into the hobby. So make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys like this video. Leave a comment if I miss out on anything. We're going to put descriptions of both cars down in the description so you guys can find all the specs. So we're not going to go over too much of that. So I hope you guys like this video and thank you for watching. Damn it. All right, make sure you guys like and subscribe. All right, make sure you guys. All right, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and we'll see. I can't do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Nope, you're moving the camera. So I hope you guys. I'm telling you guys, when you guys don't use it, I hope you can hear it, but if you don't use the Gorgon once, listen to this, guys. Listen to this. So if you don't use it, it makes a weird beeping noise. And I'm wondering if it's doing that to let you know that the car is still on, so you don't leave it on with the battery, and that could really fully discharge a LiPo. So I think that's what that is. I mean, I wanted to say it's because you're not playing with me, come drive me, but I think it's to protect the battery. So anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.